Hello and welcome to Arteagan Flight 001. This is your captain speaking. If you are traveling through another dimension, you are in the right seat. A dimension not only of sight and sound and mind, but a journey into a wondrous new vibratory frequency. We'd now like to tell you about some important safety features of this aircraft. The most important safety feature we have aboard this aircraft is your attention. Please buckle up, everyone. It is going to be a thrilling ride. Hello and welcome to your Pisces new moon meditation, Timeless Transcendence. My channeled messages today are imprinted and recorded at the time of this Pisces new moon and can be replayed at any time in the future for a reinfusion of these energies and their wisdom and guidance. This meditation will be especially useful to you if you are feeling lost, confused, afraid, overwhelmed, or creatively blocked. The astrological specificity, including where and how to expect these energies to physically manifest in your life, can be found separately on the Patreon and website, thearteagan.com. Both links can be found in the description box below. It is my honor to help increase your spiritual strength and confidence, and I thank all of you for supporting these messages and my work getting them to you, whether that be through positive energy, donations, subscriptions, or your encouraging words. Let us begin. You did the best you could with what you had and who you were at the time. There are new parts of you and your life that are now forming, and it is time to responsibly release an experience cycle that is now complete. This massive release point was chosen by your higher self for you to experience right now. This is the truth you are being called upon to trust in, and to trust in a bigger dream for your life, a bigger vision you created for this existence. Rest, rejuvenate, eat, sleep, relax, cry, forgive, honor your needs, allow what's done to be done, for there is no going back now. The veil between the seen and the unseen is thinnest now, so you are feeling much more than you are used to being required to understand with your mind. There will be more and more revealed as you move forward, just as there have been in the past when you had to proceed without knowing what was going to happen or have the knowledge you needed to continue. This time you are being called on to partner with a bigger energy and allow it to flow through you to support your spiritual strength and confidence. These are powerful forces that have been revolutionizing and transforming your life, that are now sending their powers to a new beginning taking place in your life. This release point is also a beginning point for you to channel your life force into. As you are ready for a new, abundant, beautiful, creative, spiritually elevating, and perhaps even glamorous cycle of experiences. For death is just a protest against stagnation, one we need on a personal level as well as societal, so that social changes for the better come to pass as the old, outdated ideas give way. Give way for new ideas to gain currency as reflections of our collective spiritual process of maturation. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth as you slowly release your residue attachments, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical, to that which is no longer appropriate to your level of growth. Take that deep breath when you need to move energy and assist in releasing rigid intellectual patterns, sentimental yet unproductive and harmful emotional attachments, and physical tensions holding on to these rigidities that have manifested in your body. Death is the twin brother to life. Just as soul descends into matter, your physical body, so must your soul return to source and your physical body to earth. Death is fully half of the universal transforming principle. Your soul is immortal and can never die. Consciousness continues after death. You will still think and see and feel. So, humanity can never die. For you are an infinite, quantum, cosmic creator. Destruction is followed by renewal, and you are the sole visionary that decides what will next come to pass. We are not always governed by chance and fate. We have the power to change our lives. In the midst of destruction, upheaval, response, or independent creation, we may do so with stability amidst movement when we are working in partnership with that bigger energy and allowing it to flow through us, which you are being asked to do at this Pisces new moon. If you are feeling victimized by the world, government, your spouse, your family, your job, or anything else, allow me to disabuse you of that illusion. For illusion and self-delusion are the other choices available to us at this time. Your thoughts are truly the only thing you have completely to yourself. It is in the realm of thoughts, focus, and attention that further direct the other two realms of manifestation. You possess a creative force, formative power, and your own material world. Whether we accept it or not, we have chosen to incarnate into the families, circumstances, and challenges to us reaching and achieving full manifestation powers. Each of us represents our own unique individual expression of man's will in its struggle to be in union with the divinity within us and achieving the knowledge and power to bring desired things into manifestation through conscious awareness, self-awareness, and self-mastery. The year 2021 you will remember as one you did things in your life differently in order to bring you closer to your true self. Others will recollect bitterly how 2021 victimized them alienatingly and cruelly. Respect everyone's free will to choose and disconnect from those who will only use you as another perpetrator of their abuse so as to stay someone's victim without ever making the choice to be honest about their own deeper selves. In the face of what I'm calling the overwhelm, there is free choice. This is what makes all the difference. We all experience mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical overwhelm, fears, stresses, and seemingly unbearable pressures of society, family, spouses, and ourselves. There are subtle forces that contribute to the overwhelm, ambiguous tones, and sheer immensity in themes impossible to ignore. There are myriad obstacles, distractions, and temptations that serve to alienate us from our self-awareness, disconnect us from our true selves, and sabotage our soul's purpose in this incarnation. The overwhelm is the weight of possessing this bodily existence in which we feel trapped in the pressures and confines of our material reality. When we have low to zero spiritual strength, we panic in fear at the vastness and immensity of that unknowingness or doubt of what happens after the body dies and all that transpires until it does, which is enough to send any uninitiated into a spiral of depression and existential crisis. The great conspiracy of life is what I'm calling the lie. Every lie, every time. The lie of cognitive dissonance and denial that conspires to prevent our self-conscious awareness unfolding. Our unhealthy ego's way of preserving itself at the cost of our soul. The lie we are unloved, alienating us from the single most important thing in this world, love. The lie of fear in all its forms, disconnecting us from the spiritual confidence we need to access and trust in our intuition so that we may make our way in this world. The lie of access that makes us compulsively exploit our own precious thoughts and psychic and energetic boundaries. It weakens our self-integrous defenses against forces that will pervert our energy fields, private personal spaces, and private personal thoughts. Your soul has wings to deliver you from all earthly and material worries and stresses, and the great lie is that you cannot fly and never will. Never trust someone who lies to you, even if you know it, as the bigger problem is what they are lying about to themselves. Don't use them to victimize yourself in their crossfires. In the midst of a personal crisis and you are asked, "What's wrong?" and the overwhelm has you in its grips, you may barely be able to respond with everything. Unable to give one single name or adequately, categorically explain the itemization of all that gives you pain, discomfort, worry, and fear. This is where your free choice makes all the difference. For when these spiritual pressures build and amass great fear and frustration of this seeming vastness that is both obvious and ambiguous, you will be looking to feel safe and are before two options, and in both cases you will only see one. The answer to your experience of what I've been calling the overwhelm is an equally absorbing experience of a form of spiritual confidence as your release valve. The tension releases in either a spiritual release or in creativity. This requires your surrender to it at its height and then becomes spiritual confidence. The other choice, after this buildup of tension brought on by the overwhelm, is that bitter lie of victimhood identity where you subscribe to the lie that your soul does not have wings, does not live on, and where you resign to relinquish taking responsibility for your spirituality, your existence, to being a disempowered, disenfranchised victim living in willful ignorance of universal law. There are many examples of infamous individuals, murderous individuals, who have taken this choice and played this out to the extreme. You are an infinite, indestructible, creative soul, constantly creating your own material reality through your physical, bodily existence that begins in the imaginative, creative, and formative realms and is brought into manifestation by your doing in cooperation, co-creation with the divine forces which include the heavenly bodies so poetically spoken of in the study and application of astrology and the tarot. Your attention is sold to build algorithms that improve in their ability to sell you products, services, and activities moment to moment. Advertising is not only for purchasable things, but to further encourage what I've been referring to as the Great Lie, which takes myriad forms of otherwise offering a third option in response to the overwhelm: binging. So, instead of surrendering to spiritual pressures and releasing it in rest, meditation, self-reflection, or esoteric study, instead of surrendering to the spiritual pressures and releasing it into creative pursuits, we numb our senses completely and use what we are synthetically guided to do it. We binge media, food, people, and of course drugs and self-delusions, instead of allowing our intuition, divine timing, divine intervention, and incredible synchronicities of the cosmos to guide us to that release valve of spiritual release and creativity. The breadth of our attention span and the panic of the overwhelm and the sheer speed of the synthetic omnipresent herding guides us to the numbness, which only lasts until we're exhausted, which only lasts until the buildup of tension and pressures resume and the cycle repeats. The portal is open for you to sashay through if you choose. But remember, this transcendence, this cosmic beauty, and universal glamour and spiritual exaltation is always available. It is now that is actually an especially special time because of the cosmic forces currently at play, where the boundary between you and it is porous and dissolved. For you will enjoy television shows with dynamic characters and take on the huge mental burden of processing 40, 60, 70 hours of their entire world and its problems. You will open your psychic and energetic boundaries to inform yourself of the world stage and the geopolitical dynamics and their own problems. You will experience more oversaturation of the sometimes petty and spiritually bankrupt and at other times hauntingly glamorous and inspiring visions of celebrity culture and their problems. You will live, work, and negotiate in your local, state, and federal constructs and bear the burdens of their problems. All this and more will come down on the private stage of your life and the characters that populate your own world and influence your precious private thoughts. It will finally strike the bell of your heart and soul as you hold the tension and pressure you feel is the deep knowing you must make your own choice of how you will fulfill your soul's purpose and play your part in the redemption of man and the world. If you ever even make that choice in your own journey through the incarnation you are currently living. Every man must journey forward and choose between good and evil. If he has no philosophy, he is indeed a fool. This concludes our psychic service for today. I hope I've been of great psychic service to you in your spiritual adventures, and I hope to connect with you again soon. Until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.